My name is Isaac Fuentes. I've been saved for almost 11 years now. In 2 months, I'll complete 11 years that I gave my life to Jesus. Before living for Jesus, I was 24 years old and my life was empty. I came to this country like a lot of people. My parents brought me here. I was 17 years old when I came to the United States. And even from Mexico, I had a lot of problems. And that was one of the reasons why my parents brought me here, because I started to abuse alcohol even there in Mexico. And during that time, I was living with my girlfriend. My girlfriend was 19 years old. I was 17 years old. And when I was 17 years old, my first daughter was born. When they made the decision to bring me here to the United States, they were already here. And I came to this country, and I realized real quickly that it's very easy to buy alcohol. With $20, $30, you can go and buy a beer, and you can get drunk very, very easily here. And so that was my life, really. I was trying to fill the void that was in my heart, and with alcohol. I never used drugs. I didn't need them. My brother told me that I could get drunk with bean soup. I didn't really need very much to get drunk. But that's how I would spend all my weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just drinking. The only good thing that I had going on in my life was that I worked, but I did drink a lot. And so later my girlfriend came to the United States, and here I started to mistreat her. I never hit her, because that's how I grew up. I grew up in a broken home where there was violence, and I said I'm never going to do that. But verbally I would mistreat her. And so during that time, we had 3 kids. My youngest son, his name is Joshua. He had just been born, and he was 11 days old, and he had a infection in his lungs, and the doctors told us that we needed to be prepared for him to die, because he could die. And so my wife, she recently given birth. You know how it is. It's very difficult for women when they've just had a baby, and it's very hard for them. And apart from that, just knowing that your son could die. I remember there in the hospital looking at my son inside this oxygen bubble, and my wife crying every single day, and I didn't have any words to say to her, didn't have any words to console her. And I just asked God, I said, God, you have to help me. It's not the money, we're in the greatest country in the world, and the greatest doctors are here taking care of him, but we need a miracle for him to live. And so I asked God, and God responded to that prayer. By accident, one of the brothers from church came to the hospital, and he was coming to visit another family in the hospital. And just by accident, he came into our room. And if you know him, his name is Cedric. Just his smile makes you smile. And so when he came into the room, he's, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. And it just surprised me. His smile surprised me. And imagine it. In that scene, my wife and I, sad, expecting our son to die, and then someone comes in and they give you that smile, and it gives you something. And the thing is that he left the room saying he was sorry. My wife and I stayed there looking at each other like, oh, well, maybe he could have stayed and we could have talked to him. I don't know. And that just gave us a big smile. And to our surprise, he came back with another person. And these 2 men, they're both black men. And really, in that time, we didn't really talk with black people a lot. And so this man came back, and he spoke Spanish. And he started to speak to me. And in that time, I didn't speak any English. He started to speak to me and asking us what was the situation about the child, what was happening to him. And to the point that I thought that this guy was a social worker. He was going to take my child from me, take my wife from me, because I would mistreat her. I didn't hit her, but I spoke to her badly. And I thought that he came to take everything from me. But at the end of the conversation, he asked me, do you believe that Jesus Christ can heal your son? And I said, yes. And he said, would you allow me to pray for your son? And I said, yeah, pray for him. And so to our surprise, our son was healed. It's something I had never seen before. I didn't understand everything, but I did understand that it was the hand of God. My son got better. He healed. The next day, the doctor got angry because he thought that they had given him a medicine because he was starting to breathe better. And the medicine they were going to give him, it would help, but it could do damage to him over the year, over time, even to his heart. And so the doctor got mad. But no, it was God. Jesus healed my son. And so that same night, I prayed to give my life to Jesus. And the religion that I was in, we would pray all the time, and so I thought this was just another prayer, but no, in that prayer, I gave my life to Jesus. So I was with those two men. They started to visit me for a whole week, and I was asking the wildest questions you could ever imagine. What I wanted was to catch them in a lie. I wanted to prove to them that anybody could be good. You didn't have to go to church. But what surprised me was that every answer they gave me was the Bible says. The Bible says. And I believed in the Bible, and so I couldn't go against what the Bible said. And so maybe about 3 or 4 days, I have a problem with time, and so I don't really pay attention to the time I'm working in, and so I don't really pay attention to the days. But 3 or 4 days after I had prayed, I came to church. I came to church, and I remember that I'd given him a promise to Eric that I would come to church with him. And so it was maybe 10 minutes before church was going to start, and I was still thinking, am I going to go or not? And something just hit me that I need to stick with my word. And so I came to Victory Chapel. I remember that the worship songs were in English. I was already crying. I was already feeling the Spirit of God touching my heart. When I came to church, I had long hair halfway down my back. I had earrings. I came to church with a T-shirt with a half-naked woman on it, but they received me. And here I am. I'm saved. God has changed my life. I married my girlfriend. Now she is my wife. We have 4 children. We are leaders of one of the Hispanic groups here in church, and God has touched us. And even after we gave our lives to Jesus, I don't know if it was because I was the craziest one in my family, but I think that 25 people in my own family, some are here in the church. My mother-in-law in Mexico, she got saved. This isn't a lie. We're not trying to sell you anything. This is just that you would simply give Jesus Christ a chance. I never thought that after 11 years, I was going to be giving a testimony like this, especially considering the way that I lived. I knew there was 2 places I was going to go, to jail or to hell. I made decisions that I regret. It would shame me to even say the things that I did, but the truth is that Jesus changes lives, and Jesus can save. Thank you.